Hey there, and welcome to the College Investor Audio Show as we take a look at the hidden expense driving up college costs. I'll tell you what it is in just a minute. First, just want to remind you that anytime you hear a topic discussed on the podcast, there's always an article that dives deeper on our website, thecollegeinvestor.com. You can always find the article, dive into all the different resources and different things we have for you. Lots of stuff going on our website. You can also check us out on social media to ask questions, get to know us, because it's just better that way. We get to connect and help you along in your journey with any questions you have. You can find us at The College Investor. Search those words, and you'll find us on social media pretty much anywhere you are. All right, now, here is the hidden expense driving up college costs. Actually, if you saw the title of the podcast, you already know the answer. Room and board. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. So when families talk about the rising cost of college, tuition tends to dominate the conversation. Absolutely. But actually, for a lot of students, tuition's not even the largest expense. Room and board, is anybody ever said I'm going to the cafeteria to get a board? You're going to the cafeteria to get a meal, not a board. Room and board means housing and meals. I don't know why we can't just say that. No idea. But it often makes up the majority of the bill. Even at the most expensive colleges, ranked by tuition, housing and meals adds a significant price. Recent data show that at public four-year colleges, we're talking public here, room and board now accounts for about 45% of total expenses. That's a ton. Tuition makes up less than 36%. It's actually kind of shocking if you think about it. At San Diego State University, a popular in-state option, tuition is only 25% of the total cost of attendance if you include on-campus living. Room and board, meanwhile, takes up 62%. Let's take a look at some raw numbers here using the SDSU as an example. In-state tuition, $9,000 a year, not bad at all. Out-of-state tuition, still not bad, $13,000. Room and board, $23,736. Cha-ching! It's also important to note that SDSU requires students not in the service area to live on campus for 2 years. Of course they do, and that can really add up. That gap raises a tough question, though. Is living on campus worth it? Even more so if you're going into debt for it? All right, let's dive in a little closer to these numbers. Okay. The average cost of tuition at in-state public colleges is around $97.50 for the year. That's like cheaper than private elementary schools. Room and board averages over $12,000 based on 2025 data from the Education Data Initiative. These two line items combined already total more than $22,000 a year, not including books, transportation, or other fees. For private nonprofit colleges, the story flips. Tuition is around $38,000, while room and board is like, $13,000, $14,000. That means tuition dominates the cost structure there, making up nearly 2/3 of the total. However, private nonprofit colleges are known for extremely generous aid packages, like Harvard, offering free tuition for families making under $200,000. At two-year public schools, students who live on campus may see room and board costs nearly double their tuition. It's insane. This also makes sense, though, since community college is typically very low-priced or even free in a lot of cases. Out-of-state students see slightly better proportions due to higher education, but housing and meals still take up a large share. Okay, let's face it. Out-of-state tuition at many schools is 2 to 4 times higher than in-state tuition. Is living on campus a necessity or a luxury? For a lot of families, the idea of going away to college feels like a rite of passage, doesn't it? But it's more of a lifestyle choice than a need. Living on campus may bring social benefits, convenience, that type of thing, but it can significantly increase the cost of earning a degree. The truth is, you're paying for an experience, just like you'd pay for an experience on vacation. The educational goal of college is to get a bachelor's degree. That can be achieved without expensive dorm living, by living at home, choosing a community college or local state school, maybe even sharing an apartment locally. I know everybody's yawning. Oh, well, that's not fun. If you're paying for dorm living as an add-on, then the question becomes, can you afford it? You wouldn't. Okay, better said, shouldn't. Finance a Disney World vacation you couldn't afford for multiple years. So why would you find a hotel for your child for multiple years at a time? Right? Again, if you have the cash and can afford to do that, please just do it. It's amazing. But if you're taking on student loan debt, piles and piles of it, you can't send your child to live in the dorms. This is an especially important message for parents. I'm a parent of 6. I need to know this stuff, who end up borrowing the bulk of the cost. We just can't do it. When room and board accounts for more than half the cost of college, it raises important questions. Could the student live at home or commute? Could they choose a local or community college for the first 2 years and then go off while working the whole time and, saving? In a lot of cases, families may be stretching their budgets or taking on student loans to pay for what is essentially a luxury expense. Here's what families should consider. As college costs climb and student loan debt rises, it's important to question assumptions. Tuition often gets the attention, but the real sticker shock may come from housing and meal plans. Families should evaluate total cost of attendance, not just tuition. In some cases, a higher tuition college may actually be more affordable. Imagine that, if students can live at home. Others might consider or might want to reconsider the need for a traditional on-campus experience, especially in the first year or two. Just give it some time. So instead of funding a party for your kid for 4 years, could that money be better spent buying them a home? These are real trade-offs to consider before you go massively in debt. Room and board, housing and meals. Can we petition to change the name of this? Isn't just a cost, it's a decision. And in today's college economy, it deserves just as much scrutiny as any other part of the bill. Right? That is our show for today. I hope it got some wheels spinning. If you want to dive deeper into all things related to the college investor, everything we talk about and more, there's a ton of resources for you on paying for college, how to avoid certain costs like room and board, how to help your child start a side hustle so they can earn more money and fund their own college. Hello. It's all available at thecollegeinvestor.com. You can also like us, follow us, and all those things and on social media. Just search for The College Investor and you'll find us. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.